own a Samsung television, I would say that you want to get a Samsung soundbar, and it's because of a technology they call QS700F. And this is a technology that allows you to use the TV speakers with the soundbar to get the best sound quality. And this soundbar has 3.1.2 channels. Now, one thing about this soundbar, it doesn't come with the rear speakers, but you can buy them as an add-on if you want to get the full Dolby Atmos experience later. Now, this soundbar does support the Dolby Atmos if you have the rear speakers, plus it has virtual DTS:X, and it does have DTS. And over here, it also works with Apple AirPlay, Google Chromecast, and Spotify. But let's get out of the box and see everything that it comes with so we can see if it's the right soundbar for you and your family. Here's everything that comes in the box besides the subwoofer and the speaker. You get the remote control plus some batteries, an HDMI cable plus 2 power cords, a user's guide, and keep in mind this one does work with the SmartThings application. And you get the wall mount bracket and some screws for it. And here's the subwoofer that comes with it. And one unique thing about this subwoofer is that it has a woofer over here and it has a passive radius on the other side. On the back of it, there is a pairing button as well as your power cord input. And there's some rubber grips on the bottom, but chances are you're going to be putting it on carpet. But if you have hardwood floors, it won't scratch it up. And here's the soundbar. It has a nice premium look to it. Now on this side, you have the Samsung logo and it does have speakers on it. And here's the other side of it. And on the front of it, it's got this nice mesh material. And when we get to the full demo, I'll measure everything out for you and we'll take a look and see what kind of speakers inside of it. It also has a power, volume up and down, a source button on top of it. And we'll check out if it has 120 Hertz pass through later on. But right here we have the HDMI eARC as well as the HDMI input. And down here we have your digital output. Plus it has a USB for service and your power cord input. And there's a line over here so you can run the cable flat. Now we talked about the QS700 speaker. Let's go do some testing and see how good it sounds compared to TV speakers. So now we're in the second studio and we're going to check it out on this QS700F. I did a review on this TV right before this video, so go check it out. It's a great looking television. Now one thing about this QS700F, it does have that center base on it, but check this out. The center bar will fit flush right below it, so you can use it on this television. Now I did tell you guys I wouldn't measure it, so here we go. We're looking at almost 46 inches, looks like 45 3/4. It's shy of 2 inches high. Now as far as the depth on it, we're looking like 4.5. So that's all the different measurements on it. And to connect it, I'm using what I know is certified HDMI 2.1 cable. It's not the one that came in the box, but over here I have it going to the eARC on the back of the TV, and then I have it connected to this Xbox Series X so we can check out the pass-through. Over here is the power cord, and you can run it through this little track here, so make it flush. But what you can do is just put it right here on the back of it. It all depends on your particular setup. And the cool thing about the subwoofer, all you need to do is just plug it into the wall. And if it doesn't connect, you can press this little pairing button here on the back of it. Now we'll check the pass-through out, and keep in mind, the soundbar is connected to the TV and the Xbox is connected to the soundbar. And what I can see here, it doesn't support 120 Hertz pass-through. So just keep in mind, if you have gaming consoles, plug them directly to your television. Do not run this unless you have older gaming consoles. And just keep in mind, if you go through the soundbar, you do lose the auto low latency as well as the variable refresh rate, but it will support, again, 4K at 60 frames per second. Now I have the Xbox plugged directly into the television. And if we go over here to video options, now you do have access to auto low latency and variable refresh rate. Now the soundbar has an array of speakers on the front of it, and it has a top firing speaker on each side to give you that overhead just in case like a helicopter or something's passing by. But if you want to get the full effect, you want to definitely add the rear speakers either now or later. The point one is for the subwoofers, and that's to give you that bass response. Now I'm going to play some demos for you guys, and I kept it pretty short because of copyrights, but this should give you a general idea of what it's going to sound like from the TV speakers and switching over to the soundbar.
Well, folks, we're not going there. They are coming here. Well, folks, we're not going there. They are are coming here.
When you connect this to a Samsung TV, you do have access to all your sound modes, and that's gaming, adaptive, as well as DTS, and you do have standard down here at the bottom and surround sound. And if we go to sound output, you can see that the Q Symphony soundbar is connected via HDMI. And under all settings, you have sound output. You also have those surround sound modes that I showed you a minute ago. You also have the Q Symphony setup. And over here we have sound devices, which will show you anything's connected to the system. As far as I know, you had to get the rear speakers to be able to adjust the position and the levels. So just keep in mind, you won't have that option unless you buy those optional rear speakers. There's also expert settings, and inside of here, you can control the woofer volume as well as have an EQ for the speakers. So that's the option you get with the soundbar connected to the television. Next, I'm going to show you the SmartThings application. And as you can see here, the Q Symphony soundbar is on it. And once we press on it, you can see a picture of it, and you can also change the volume right here. As you can see, it's changing on the TV as well. You can change your inputs, and then you can access all your sound modes. There's also a setting for your EQ, and this is where you have full control, plus you have some different presets like pop, jazz, and classical. And then we have advanced settings at the bottom. Now in here, you can enhance the voice, you can enhance the bass response, you can put it in night mode, and a few other settings here at the bottom. We also have channel levels, and this is for the center or the top front. We have audio sync, and this is in case you're getting a delay in the signal. And then we have voice guide, where you can change it to different languages as well. Now we're on the TV. There is a device list, and as you can see here, there's the Q Symphony soundbar, and we have some basic controls there as well. Now the application on your phone is going to give you full control, but you can see here, you do have some options with this SmartThings hub. Before we wrap this up, there's a couple more things that I want to talk about. First of all, when it comes to soundbars, HDMI eARC is a system that connects any soundbar with any television. It is protocol for it to work. But here's the thing, I have some other brands that I've tested out, even some at my house, that don't connect automatically. You turn the TV on, and then 20-30 seconds, it finds the soundbar and connects. I have never seen that on Samsung. You turn the TV on and it's ready to go. So that's a plus for this. But you know, if you got a Samsung TV, you can add any brand that you like. Just keep in mind, Samsung soundbars, Samsung TVs are always going to work the best. Now I did have a gripe about the soundbar, is that they did remove the display off the front of it. So now you have a series of lights, so you can't really see the status without pulling up the application or something like that. Now don't get me wrong, I love applications, but it's getting to the point where we have 100 different apps on our phone to do different things, and there's no central way to do this. So that could be annoying. But when it comes to the sound quality, the build quality, I think this system is really good. And I would say live, I wish I could let you guys hear the actual demo, but it was shaking the room pretty good. And I gotta be careful because I'm in an office space. With that being said, I do recommend you get this soundbar. It will work with any brand, and it will work with the SmartThings application. But if you want to get the on-screen controls and things like that, like I showed you on this video, you have to get a Samsung TV that's compatible. With that being said, leave me a comment below. Tell me what you guys think. I'm Tech Steve, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.